Yeah, so it is live now. Please start.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session on the title Servant Leadership in Action Principles that Transform Teams. I want to begin with a simple question. What makes a leader unforgettable? Is it their power, their position, or is it in the way they serve the people around them? Today, we are going to discuss or we are going to explore one of the most powerful leadership philosophy of our time, which is your servant leadership. And this is a leadership style where the main focus is not authority but service. It's about lifting others up, empowering your team, and building success through trust and collaboration. In next hour, I shall take you through 10 principles of servant leadership where we'll be discussing real-world case studies and research findings that prove why this approach works. By the end of this session, you shall walk away with practical tools and you can apply immediately to transform your team or even yourself as a leader. Now, so what exactly is servant leadership? The term was introduced by Robert K. Greenleaf in 1970 in his essay, The Servant as Leader. He wrote, and I quote, the servant leader is servant first. It begins with the natural feeling that one wants to serve first. Isn't it? That is so thought provoking. This means leadership is not just about titles or control. It is about asking, how can I help my team succeed? Or how can I remove obstacles for them? Or how can I help them grow? Now, I came across through this research which backs this up. A Harvard Business Review study in 2014 found that companies practicing servant leadership reported higher employee engagement, lower turnover, and stronger collaboration. Here's what I would love for you to participate. Think about a leader in your life, a teacher, a manager, or even a family member who made you feel supported and empowered. If you want, drop their name or their story in the comments, or if you want to share this experience here, I would love to hear your experiences because servant leadership is most powerful when it's personal. Now, let's now walk you through the 10 principles of servant leadership. As we go along, I shall give you real world examples and research that shows these principles in action. The first principle, listening. Servant leaders truly listen. They don't just hear words, they understand emotions and perspectives. For an example, during the 2008 financial crisis, Starbucks founder Howard listened to employees' fears. As a result, he introduced stock option and health benefits even for part-time workers. That built loyalty that still defines Starbucks today. Now, if you go to any Starbucks store for that matter, the way they greet you, the way they, send you back, writing your name in that cup of coffee or whichever we buy, small act of kindness makes it so beneficial. Now, diving into the second principle, which is empathy. Servant leaders stand in others' shoes. A research states, a Journal of Business Ethics study, the study which was done in 2011, showed that leaders who show empathy dramatically increase team loyalty. It's not just about understanding you yourself, but it's also about you putting yourself in other person's shoes. And that brings to principle number 3, which is healing. They care about your emotional well-being. or you should be caring about your own emotional well-being. Let's take the case study of Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, who reshaped company's culture by emphasizing compassion. His personal journey as a parent of a differently abled child made him value empathy and healing deeply. How does that happen? That brings us to the principle number 4, awareness. This is both self awareness and situational awareness. A leader who can sense burnout early can act before it affects your productivity. Many of us, even when you look at a person's face or an individual's face, even if he or she is tired, we grab that attention or we become self aware. And that brings us to the principle number 5, which is persuasion but not cohesion. Because servant leaders influence with trust but not with fear. Let's take an example of Nelson Mandela, who united a divided South Africa through persuasion, dialogue, and service, but not force. Principle number 6, conceptualization. This is the ability to dream big, but also connect it with daily work. I'll give you an example here, where Elon Musk is known for visionary thinking, but he also empowers teams to execute while he communicates the bigger picture. I just wanted to add another example here. When I was discussing about this conceptualization is, the man or the person behind who built or who brought Disney World into life. Walt Disney. I'm talking about Walt Disney, no one else. That one personality who went, from bankruptcy to again starting something new or building a business out of that, whatever was being, whatever he was facing. But today, even people are ready to pay that much of a price and still go just to get that adrenaline rush running, isn't it? Today, many of us still go, and it's a different world altogether, isn't it? Where no, where age is not being taken care of. Anywhere you go, anything you can feel. And sometimes we still think that princesses or that Disney characters are still real. So that brings me to the principle number 7, which is a foresight. It's about anticipating consequences. A research from a Center for Creative Leadership in 2020 study found that servant leaders help teams stay resilient during crisis because they prepare what's ahead of them. Many of us still don't have this foresight. And that brings us to the principle number 8, which is stewardship. That means holding responsibility for resources and people. Sometimes we have resources, we have people, but then many a times we find it difficult. Are we using our resources efficiently and productively and to its fullest usage? And that brings us to the you know principle number 9, which is the commitment to the growth of people. Many organizations in many places, servant leaders or leaders invest in people's growth. That's where organization puts you into trainings, puts you into different activities, team building, whatnot, so that that organization can work in a team. So another, not I would say as a case study or as an example, Google. Google's famous 20% time allowed employees to pursue passion projects. But guess what? Products like Gmail and Google Maps came out of it. And that brings us to the last principle, which is building community. Because servant leaders foster belonging. Take an example of at Airbnb. Employees are called hosts to emphasize community spirit. It's not just a job, but it's a family. But if you look take even Airbnb as a story, there were two individuals who went for a trip. Unfortunately, they didn't find a place to stay or for breakfast. That's when this Airbnb concept came up into for them. I don't exactly remember I don't remember their names, but still. Now let's dive into three powerful case studies where servant leadership completely transformed organizations. If you take up the first case, which is the Southwest Airlines, their culture is built on servant leadership. Leaders put employees first. In return, employees put customers first. But what was the result? That particular organization, Southwest, enjoyed 47 consecutive years of profitability, but a rare achievement in aviation. Or take another case study, Mahatma Gandhi. Though not from the corporate world, but still he himself embodied servant leadership. He led India's independence movement not through domination, but through service. His power came from humility and the ability to mobilize millions by putting the cause above himself. You know, and another case study of Popeyes. When that company was struggling, instead of focusing only on profits, she focused on franchisee owners, the real backbone of the company, but also listened to their needs, empowered them, supported them for their growth. What is the outcome? Stock value tripled during her tenure. I think her name is Cheryl. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about her full name, but still, I just want everyone to pause for a moment and reflect. Out of these stories, the Southwest Airlines, let it be Mahatma Gandhi, or let it be Cheryl, which one resonates with you the most and why? Now, if you take up a a different research in the current world, in today's world, how servant leadership applies. A Gallup in 2019, studies, research highlights says that servant leadership increases psychological safety, the feeling that it's safe to take risk and share ideas. And another institute, which is called the Ken Blanchard Institute, teams led by servant leaders shows 12 higher percent for productivity. And Harvard Business Review states servant leadership builds trust, which is the single strongest predictor of team performance. So, millennials and Gen Zs want leaders who coach and serve, but not to dictate. In remote and hybrid teams, servant leadership ensures connection and innovation, motivation. For startups, founders who serve their team first actually scale faster because they build loyalty and innovation from the ground up. Some couple of practical examples or practical things which you can use is to do daily check-ins. It's not just about the task, about how people are feeling. The small act or habits which we start building in an organization. But if you take up another thing is psychological safety, or even using recognition and appreciation week, something like that, our appreciation or recognition for the day, a small hack, habit which can change a lot inside an organization, or building that, kind of an habit, creating training plans or growth plans for individuals, but not just for the company, but also for the individual level also. In one of the organization, they came up with this, fun Fridays, tea time Fridays, something like that. So that it's not just about the work, but even somewhere the other things is also getting discussed. Yeah. So, just let's get little interactive before we give this a close, or which you can start it right from now onwards. To either at the end of the day or ask yourself, did I serve my team today or did I only manage them? Or what did you do for yourself as a leader? Or what is that one thing which you learned today or which you want to change? Can be. Would anyone like to share something? Oh, what is that one small habit hack or something which touched for someone?
Yeah, I think you shared quite a few things, and which are really
Okay.
examples. I really, even the Nelson Mandela case was very good. Like, even if, like, things are really bad, they can still recover, and you can inspire people to work together.
True.
Yeah.
Himshika, you would like to share something?
Ma'am, just now I joined 5 minutes back, I think, 2 minutes back.
Okay.
So I'm just
Okay.
listening. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, thank you for joining in. These days I find you joining in almost every day. Great.
Yeah.
So next is, I call it a feedback circle. Once a month, holding a meeting or for your team, where you are as the leader, but also to listen, but not defending, not no explaining, no defending, no interrupting, nothing. Just giving them the listening ear. That also makes whole lot of a difference. And then the next tool is to create some kind of a growth commitments. Say, for example, create one development opportunity for every member of your team every quarter. This could be training, this could be mentorship, or this could be a project that stretches them or taking them out of their comfort zone. Might be that. Or, this is one thing which we can start doing. Now let's quickly recap the 10 principles of servant leadership, which is your listening, empathy, healing, awareness, persuasion, conceptualization, foresight, stewardship, commitment to growth, and building community. Together, these principles don't just make you a leader, they make you a leader who transforms life. Let me repeat that. These principles don't just make you a good leader, they make you a leader who transforms lives. As a wrap, as a close of the session, I want to leave you with this thought that great leaders don't stand above their teams, they stand among them. They don't ask for respect, they earn it by serving it. If you want to transform your team, start with service. And that is servant leadership in action and principles that transform teams. And I would suggest, if you want, go back to this video once again and you can watch and let me know what changed for you. Until next time, remember, leadership is not about power, it's about service. Anything you would like to share, any experiences or anything you would like to take it from now on?
Awesome, Darshini. Would you like to also suggest some of the action points that people can take? I think you did mention a few, but then like in the concrete actions.
Sure, not a problem. See, action step is nothing but, see, it's not about you being a leader or you're not being a leader. It's not about that. First, it starts being human. That's where it starts. So we discussed about 10 servant leadership principles in today's session. We spoke about healing, we spoke about awareness, we spoke about conceptualization, we spoke about empathy, we spoke about different principles. Which is that one principle you want to try try for yourself in next 24 hours starting tomorrow? Which principle would you like to, take forth and try it for one day, one principle at a time? Which one would you prefer taking it forward? Is it
Foresight.
empathy? Is
Yeah.
it healing? Foresight. Great.
Goodness, yeah. And also creating growth opportunities for every team members so that as a team we can grow.
Great. Very great. Great. Sometimes it is different. You can try to for today. You can try with foresight, building leader, building community, or let it be commitment to growth or building community. You can take any kind of principles. Try using that one principle for one day and see how things shift or how things change for you. That can bring up a lot of things. Because as I always say, leadership is not about titles. It's about you taking in charge of those who need care from you. So, yes, with that, so I don't know, because I am a person who believes in leadership. See, it's not just about you call yourself a trainer and a coach. It's about, do you have that empathetic ear to listen out to people when they need that ear? That's where it makes a difference. Or like just try complimenting someone who needed that compliment. No, don't wait for the next day to compliment someone. You can do it right here, right now itself. That creates a big difference. Timely complimenting is also a, a skill which a leader needs. Appreciating. But today it's a question. Today, do you find people doing this? But in bigger organization, I don't think so. Very less or very rare in times you will find these things. But doing these things in small, small ways, it helps a lot. Yes, it does help a lot. Yeah, with that, thank you everyone for joining in.
Thank you. I think Rajin just got joined, so
Yeah, thank you.
It's okay. She keeps joining every day. Yeah.
thanks.
At least she got joins. That's a big
Yeah.
thing for her.
Yeah. So thank you, Darshini, and thank you
you.
everyone. So
Thank you, Dharshani, for your inputs every day. I know that you have done a good sessions, and leadership is something Sir Shabana has taught. Shabana and Nupur has
Shabana
taught.
ma'am, would you like to give her a quick 5 minutes this thing about what we have discussed, if you would like to?
I think it would be like you talked so many different aspects. I don't remember all the 10. I think
Wait, just one or two, whatever you feel you want to take it as a takeaways.
yeah,
At least one.
yeah. So means I like all of those, but yeah, creating more of growth opportunities for the team. So I really like
Like growth mindset, right? I think what I like about leadership is, and what I like about your sessions is you talk about growth mindset
Yeah.
a lot. Because when we start thinking about fixed mindset, it's like, we still in the comfort zone. And today I went for my doctor's checkup and she said, keep on growing, keep on, although you're recovering from sore throat, but keep on growing, keep on achieving whatever you need to do. And thank you so much, Dashni. Thank you, Shabana. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. Thank you for joining every time.
Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Uh,
Thank you. I think Himshika also want to share.
Yeah, I have shared. I have taken the key points.
Oh my God.
As you have mentioned, right, to take one principle and observe how I have applied, and then maybe to take up the next one. And then I feel like analyzing yourself, what went wrong, or how can I improve that principle. So basically, the more we will keep using those principles, so it will be, we will come to know. Yeah.
Great. Great.
Awesome. Thank you, Darshini, for creating
Thank
it.
you so
Thank
much.
you, Himshika, for,
Thank
creating it
you.
for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, thank